Alrighty, Resurrection Sunday. No, it's actually almost 4th of July. So Cheryl Ling, I not have been AWOL. My father died, and I'm still trying to gather funds, and I'm very grateful. This lady sent me $10 out of the blue, so 谢谢你. And I made a friend, Teresa King in San Diego, wrote me. I just want to thank you. I've been doing a lot of location scouts, and the whole time I was hit with this, father went ahead with assisted suicide in Switzerland after the 5th try. I guess the way he justified it in his mind was, well, I pulled out of it 4 or 5 times before. He wanted to die anyways by this lethal injection or whatever. I'm not for it. I understand. I mean, when you're in pain, I don't know about you, but you know, when I had even a toothache, I was like, I want to die. You're just like, oh God, get me out of here. This is how we are. We're fleshly creatures, and we're weak, and pain is a torment. So it is not from the Lord that when he was under so much stress, he was taking a lot of morphine. He said that could not even stop the pain because he had pancreatic cancer, so he wanted to die. But to the sin of our sin, meaning that this would be a sin that I'm asking the Lord to break apart, was that my dad vehemently promoting, because he was a very powerful figure in that little country, Taiwan, a province of China. Yes, it is a province of China. I know China is a communistic country and Taiwan is a free democracy. But I don't know if we're ever gonna be able to regain the nationalism. Anyway, that's besides the point. My dad was trying to push for the legislation to legalize assisted suicide, and I confess that's a sin against us, against the Fu family. I just prayed that Lord would dissipate and thwart that effort. We need to promote life, healing. Not one instance Jesus, I searched the scripture, not one instance that Jesus said to somebody, oh, you're so freaking miserable, let me put you out of misery and cut their throat or whatever, or just like be gone or whatever. But contrary, Jesus always said, even the dead, he says, rise up, Lazarus. And he said to the lame, get up and take your cot and start walking. Just impossible situations. So the more I was mystified about this, that why is there not one instance Jesus didn't look at somebody and say, hey, you're terminally ill, you're hopeless, and it's better that for you to go meet your maker, so like this, right, be gone. It gives me more courage. We should be more aware, because nowadays, especially in California, the socialistic country, because California has its own country. It's a what do you call that? Jerry Brown flooding us with invaders. And don't tell me anything about immigrants. That's an insult to the real immigrants. Even in the old days, they have to go through the quarantine, the Ellis Islands, even the Chinese immigrants, because Christopher had educated me on that, on the Angel Island, the Chinese immigrants, when they came to California seeking a better life during the gold rush days. Because when they hear gold, Chinese people love gold. They go, well, we're gonna get our hands on some of the gold. Anyways, there's this story of Ghost Cat. You have to support making of Ghost Cat. But before we do that, go to paypal.me. I don't want to forget, because I'm still trying to get money, and paypal.me, it seemed like an easier way. I don't know, last one, it doesn't work now for some reason. I guess it's fraud prevention. I can't even get into my account, but this one, I still withdraw $10 from it. So it's paypal.me, Cling, Cling, and that's my guess my code name or whatever. So when you click on it, it's all secure, but sometimes it's so secure I can't even withdraw it. That's what I'm saying. PayPal.me//CLING. So anyways, I was kind of ill. I got ill. I mean, I'm still wanting to. My 3 goals right now is to make what Ghost Cat the movie, and the Hell's Assault is upon it, because this is going to be so powerful. Literally, it's crazy. It's not just entertaining. It's not just a zombie movie. We have people risen from the dead out of their graves, but I gotta keep it a secret. They're like what do you call the mystic figures that of the tomb soldiers from China, from the Ming Dynasty. I don't know if you've ever seen any one of those figurines, and they have these kind of armories and these ominous, vicious, mean swords and everything. So those are history statues that we are placing them in a western town of a gold rush town. That's all I got to say with the battles of the 2 spirits, of different spirits. So I believe it's a worthy project. I believe the Lord is going to bring it forth, and of course I believe there's going to be birth pains. So with that said, I just congratulate a victory. Thank you, Jesus, that Christopher got saved, meaning that he is going to be with Jesus forever. He has eternal life. Not that we are not going to sin on the face of the earth, but it means that we are born again, as Jesus said, that if we're born of the flesh, we're of the flesh. The flesh go back to the dust. But you have to be born of the Spirit. That's what born again means. It means that first time you're born out of the mother's womb, nothing wrong with that. But that's the flesh. And as you know, the mortality rate is still 100%. That means nobody escaped it, right? Except for Elijah and Abel. Not Abel, who was that Enoch, who walked with the Lord. The Lord took him. That's what the word says. I'm not going to question God. And the Lord even said that. One day when I see him as the way that he sees me, I will know everything. Because right now it's all fuzzy, you see. So Christopher accepted Jesus, and that's great news. That's why it's great news, salvation. What comes about is that I guess I got really ill. I mean, I don't want to get into the whole story, but you know how the demons are always plotting things to attack us. And I don't want to be superstitious or anything. I've been looking at locations, and this one was like ominous because in the movie, The Ghost Cat, we're about to make, yes, by the grace of God, we just need that $1 million. Yeah, I'm writing different scenes, so it has gone through each transformation of the legend of the ghost cat. That the ghost cat is a spiritual figure who was a aborted fetus. So she died of untimely death. And as you can see that in the spirit realm, of course, this goes to the imagination. The evil spirit converged because they want to use what? The wicked spirit to attack the human race. And that's exactly what's happening right now in this world. If you didn't know, a lot of times that we're blinded by spiritual blindness and the hardness of heart. But once the Lord shed his grace upon you by the power of his Holy Spirit, your eyes opened, your scale falls off. That's why we see the truth. That's why I say, hey, this is ridiculous. We're allowing, there's no borders, no walls. Like this is some kind of righteous statement, no border, no wall, and everything is free. Wait a minute, think it through. In a regular household, this is just funny. My friend even just called me today. He says, hey, the gardener from El Salvador, this is just an analogy, told me to leave the gate open when I was driving out of the driveway, to leave the gate open so he can come and take whatever he wants, since he's moving back somewhere else, I guess. I don't know, I was just laughing so hard. Because he said that, well, I'm sure when I get home this evening, there will be like 20 of them all staged out, hunkered down in the house. Very funny, very funny. Very true. It's like they said, don't border no walls, so everybody keep coming in. I mean, you know, the analogy of saying that we're like, Donald Trump is a Nazi, everybody's a Nazi. If we don't want people to invade our homes. I mean, I think the perfect way to resolve this is to have Peter Fonda and Barbara Streisand and all these people there, so that hate Donald Trump, so righteously indignified in Hollywood. Jimmy Kimmel, he's a fucking millionaire. Make them to adopt everyone that come across the border. That make everybody say, okay, we're signing you off to Jimmy Kimmel's homes, and then he promised to take care of, I don't know how many do you think we should send? 2,000, 200? Because how many are poor upon us? There are more than 800 million people that are in South and Central America that want to invade our country. So this is like, I saw the analogy, it was funny. Who said that Donald Trump is a Nazi, and this is like the CNN people say this is like the Auschwitz or something, the encampment of the Jewish people that were being tortured. No, that's George Soros. George Soros had no problem to sell out his own people. He said that in the interview, and Alex Jones had played it so much, that's why he got so demonized, and that's why they tried to shut me down, but thank God, I mean, I am here, I'm not going to go away, because the more I take pleasure that the more that we feel like we're oppressed, and the fact that we're winning, and we're telling the truth. The truth is, in Auschwitz, people were trying to get out. It wasn't that, like, these invaders, they're getting in to what? To divide and conquer. So that it's not we're not a democratic country, because you can get all these people, 80%, 90% of all these invaders don't speak our language. It's not an immigrant thing. An immigrant is somebody like, before, even through the Ellis Island, you have to be segregated. Why? Because of a disease. Now we have rampant disease, hepatitis, and you don't know, like, there's even leprosy. They don't want you to know that. In California, they hush. In schools, there's all kinds of disease. Even those diseases that we thought they were gone and extinct, they're back. So you have to ask yourself, if I don't want to do this, even in my own home, I don't want to leave my gate open when I get out of my driveway. I make sure the wall works, and that security cam is hooked up to ADT or whatever, that they're monitoring the situation. So we cannot have 800 million people that will come into our country. We can't even take care of our own. I'm just saying, out of the goodness of your heart, these things should go to the charitable, but a lot of charitable, even the Catholic foundations, and yes, I say that they're being used by the adversary, the socialists, and even Obama days. They just drop them off because there's a loophole. We have to close that loophole in our country, is to let the so-called minors go when they invade our country. And as you know, George Soros is funding all these countries to be in riots and what do you call the demolishment of their institutes, because of their own institutes. I don't know what kind of constitution that they have in South and Central America, but it's the demolishing of those countries through communism. But these all these infection that come into our country is to infect us with the same thoughts and to drag us down into the pit. That's why it's a shithole. Why do you don't want to live in a shithole neighborhood? I mean, liberals talk the good talks, but when you say, oh, we're going to build some homeless shelter right around the Mendocino, because there are lots of land. Oh, no, we don't want it in here. Well, look at Hollywood Hills. Oh, yeah, you, what do you call that? Republicans or racists, we got to let them all in. And now we have homeless encamped right down by Kohanga. Every time you go to the underpass, and they're right on Barham. They actually burned down houses from their cooking and spreading disease, hepatitis. Because, again, the liberal Democrats take away your right your rights, because they know how to spend your money. They know how to dictate. You need to think if you're white, you're a supremacist, you're a Nazi. So they can flood you with more of their, what do you call that? The voters, their votes, and they rig the vote. That's why it's a fraudulent belief that they want to push upon you that you're a racist and you're a Nazi if you don't want to share. If those people that say that, every one of them sign on to all of them that with the open border, because they don't want a wall. We'll go tear down their walls. So let's go tear down Jimmy Kimmel's wall. Make sure that he has no wall, no security, no, he hates guns, so no guns on the security. He take away his armed guards. See how long would they last? Or the Obama people, you see how long would they last? They're still behind the deep state. So anyways, I am, okay, so I'm getting better because I got, let's go back to the food poison. It was too weird. I love sprouts. I know it's like changing the topic, but I was so sick. A couple days ago, I was supposed to go scout in publishing some of the places where I scouted the pie route. It's just ominous. I loved it. The power plant, I loved it. It was so scary. I'm moved to change my scene because I don't want to give Satan glory. Now, Ghost Cat is a movie about demons and angels. And fighting the zombies, the supernaturals, and shapeshifters, and all that. But the devil hates it because what we're doing is to demolish and expose the kingdom of darkness. Because we're telling you that there is a devil. People think he's just the guy with the horns and the pitchfork, like, dressed up in Halloween, fork you and put you in the lake of fire and roast you, fire and salt. No. The devil himself, the Revelation says that him and his minions will be cast into the lake of fire. So the lake of fire is a place where worms do not die. Ooh, scary. And fire does not quench, never quenches. So listen to me, you who took down my videos on YouTube and giving me strikes. Now, my YouTube channel's got strikes. I got this channel, Cheryl Ling, because they used to persecute me. So I warn you, lay your hands off my channel. Lay your hands off my content, communist. I'm actually going to publish video. There's a new channel by, not Vimeo. Vimeo is also a new channel, but I think the Health Ranger, Mike Adams, has a new channel called Real Video. Anyways, I signed on to that because it's ridiculous. This YouTube, Google, and this Amazon evil, Bezos and the Soros. I mean, I'm not conjuring this up. Soros make gazillions, not millions of dollars, tearing down countries. And I told you, he's a dirtbag. He actually funds, meaning he invests in these lawsuits against people, defamation lawsuits. So he's behind all these Southern Poverty Center and all these socialist so-called. We're for a open border. The open border is actually funded by George Soros in the enlightened society that, the Jim Murin of these, they're the rich and the elite, that they've been doing this the whole time that we were sleeping. We have to wake up, and that's really the bottom line. Okay, so without deviating again, be careful. Oh, I love sprouts, but I got really ill from eating that wild-caught salmon. Well, you know how it is. I promote the fact that get away from the GMO stuff because they spray it with pesticide and they implanted, genetically engineered. That's why Monsanto is not just bad. It's totally demonic and evil, and so much money, billions of gallons of these genetically modified pesticide that's doused in your food source. So literally, you just might as well, I'm still trying to clear my mind. You just eat your mind into stupidity, oblivion. That's exactly what they want to do, is give you diabetes. Yes, they do. Because pharmaceutical money make money. It's a slow, tormentuous disease. meaning it takes years. So you'll be injecting for years. This is all from GMO. That's why I don't even touch the bread anymore. I mean, it used to be good when the grains are natural. When in the old days, you'll have to go out in the garden and pull the weeds by hand. But now they just spray the shit out of everything. It's fast and easy, and for easy cropping, I mean, there's just they have no conscience whatsoever, because spraying is so much easier than labor. And to the point that to mature the wheat, so they can harvest it sooner, by 3 weeks, they will go spray the shit out of it so it will dry. I read that, I just go, oh my God, I just get so sick. Okay, but ironically, with all that said, I'm always like looking at disgust, like the lady says, would you like some corn? No, thank you. Bread? No, thank you. Because I feel like I was already dumbed down. There's too much GMO, and I have to get rid of it, right? And everybody's addicted to it. Like, oh yeah, give me more bread. I mean, they're tasty and everything, but once I feel like I battled that, I won that battle of this addiction. Yes, it's very addictive, because sugar, simple sugar of wheat, grain, rice, and all that kind of stuff. I know I call myself a rice girl, but it's metaphorically, because we literally growing up in the rice paddy. In those days, they did not put no fucking spray GMO. They literally have to, go till the land and everything. So, with that said, the bad thing was the fish has salmonella. And as I remembered now, I bought the salmon, the wild salmon, not the farm raised. I try to stay away from that. I mean, before I loved it, it was cheap. It was at $5.99 a pound, and wild caught it was $12.99 a pound. Well, I said, why do I want to pay more? But there's a big difference, because the farm raised salmon, it's a huge profited business. They put a little pan, they call that the farm, like in what do you call the side of the ocean. They're polluting the ocean because they have to spray. I saw footage, people documented it. They almost got shot because they snuck over there and took the footage of this